What's going on, guys? This is Monday the 18th of August and we are back to the charts once again. Today what we want to do is I'm going to be giving a weekly pre-market analysis so that we can potentially identify the direction which we are going to be taking and looking for our setups throughout this week. Obviously, as Monday is actually too soon to really have a specific direction, but on certain pairs we might be able to identify certain levels that aren't completed, therefore predicting, okay, now we should be expecting a third level or something of that sort. So with that being said, we can actually identify that last week we had level 1, level 2, level 3. From there, price came down here. Potentially this could be a reset and then we could be continuing again to the high side. But before that, what we want to do first thing is go and check out the news. Obviously the news plays a huge role on our setup, specifically, let's just say, on if you are on a specific trade and it's going in your favor, you might find out within the next minutes that that trade is shifted. Why is that? Or like it was moving slow and then it moves fast. It's because of the news. So with that being said, we must be aware of the days and keep track of the news and the timings, because obviously it can affect our setups in a good way, also sometimes in a negative way, most often for the unexperienced traders in a negative way. Okay, so obviously we had level 1, level 2, level 3, and having identified level 1, level 2, level 3, I think this is a reset. We can see the 18 and 50 crossover here, meaning that this over here, this was a reset, and then price is now about to continue level 1, level 2, level 3 to the high. This is just one point of view. The other point of view is that all of these could be one level, but that's not too accurate. So let's just deal with what's more accurate right now, which is this one. This could be a reset. So what we want to do is just mark this area over here, and just gonna make it red. So this is the reset area. Actually, it's orange. It's crazy. Let me just do this reset. Make it a bit smaller. Bottom. Okay, so we got a reset, and from our reset we can see that price went one level high, and right now this is where we are at. Obviously at the beginning of the London session, what we want to see is some sort of rejection to the downside. So in this case scenario, price rejected to the down, went up. So what I would be interested in seeing in here for me to execute is if price comes down here, gives me a proper rejection. Price comes down here, gives me a proper rejection, and then I can take it to the high. Or this could just be a V and they could continue going to the high side. Let me just look at the EMAs. Yeah, it's not, he hasn't even crossed the 818 EMA, so I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to come down here, reject one more time, failing to break this level over here. This is when I would be interested in going high side off of a W pattern, so then I would have like a much stronger confirmation. Trading is a game of probability, so make sure that when you are executing, you execute at points where there's a high probability of reversal, and just make sure you're always adhering to your strategy and whatever rules you have to stick to, obviously. So this is my point of view on GU. Then we have AUD CAD. I don't like how it's looking like, so let us look at GBPAUD. This is a pair we took trade, a sell trade last week, and we took another buy as well on this specific pair, which both entries were actually solid entries. So let us see what we can get for today. Obviously, we had our peak formation low, which if you guys can see properly, this is actually a W formation. You can see how price came here, hit, went up, came here and failed to break, and we started our countdown, 1, 2, and 3 to the high. So obviously this is a multi-session W, which happened on a period of 2 days. Most often it happens on Monday, Tuesday. They really do give us the multi-session item W formation. So obviously we got level 1, we got level 2, we got level 3. So from level 3 now we're expecting price to start dropping. So expecting price to start dropping, we can't just execute at any price point. So being aware of this, we now need to start looking for some sort of confirmation so that we can take sell side. Obviously, so what I'm gonna do is just mark out the day so we know. Okay, so this is the weekend line, that's why I made it a bit thicker. And then, oh no, this is Thursday, on Friday. Yeah, let me change Thursday to 1. Okay, so we have level 1, level 2, level 3 to the high. And having identified level 1, level 2, and level 3 to the high, obviously we got first hit, second hit. What I want to see is for price to come high side so that we can take a sell side from the high. This is where the concept comes from, like buy low, sell high. So we don't want to sell it around this area, we want to sell it at the best price point. So for me personally, the best price point would be if price came all the way up here on GBPAUD. So basically if price came all the way up here and then gave us some sort of like proper rejection whilst it's up here, then I would be interested in entering, putting my stop around the high, which this area right here, there's a group of traders that are trapped here. So in most cases they don't want to take price around high because there's a number of traders that are already trapped. They are hoping that this is like, what is it, the ABC move, ADCB move, like some of those. They are hoping that price is going to do this and it's going to continue to the high side, just like you can see 1, 2, and 3. So right now they are hoping that price is going to do this. Obviously if I were on the other side of the screen to trap them, I would actually want to come up here to validate even more orders, and they'll be like, yeah, it's going up, and then boom, snatch fast, quickly against them. So the more you actually start approaching the charts, the more you start noticing that these guys, you start to think like them. It's more like you start to think like them. You start to see the charts from a different perspective. Like, okay, if I was on the other side of the screen, what would I do? And what are most retail traders seeing according to their strategy? Obviously, for me, I spent my first years invested in the wrong strategies. That's why I even made my ebook, which has this specific strategy. I spent the first 2-3 years invested in the wrong strategy, and obviously learning it wasn't really in vain. It comes with a certain benefits. Only when I'm now viewing the charts, I can see like, okay, back then I would have thought like this, I would have executed like this, but now that I'm doing this, I'm executing this way. So it has certain benefits to it. Like everything, even the misfortunes in life, they come as a lesson, right? It just depends. It's all about your perspective. Some people can use their struggles can actually be like their biggest sort of like motivation. Like, I don't have any other option, therefore I gotta make it happen. So if you don't have any other option, you end up executing. So it's the same thing. Obviously, I'm sure that some of you guys are still back testing and trying and still struggling. The information you have learned so far, it wasn't in vain. It can still be used for the good. You can still learn a new strategy, because the one thing I think most people don't want to do is start over and learn a new strategy. This is one thing that I noticed. Most people don't want to learn a new strategy or start over again. But you won't really be starting over, because you still have some of that information that could still come in hand in the near future. So with that being said, and tomorrow I'm going to give another pre-market analysis on different pairs and a couple updates on what happens on this one. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And the applications for my trading system, my trading bot are still open. We got a couple more spots. You can get the free trial. Obviously, you just gotta be able to fund your trading account with a minimum of 500 to 1K. Though I recommend starting with more value, because some of the users who started with 3K or whatever, they're actually able to purchase the system afterwards just from the profits from the system of the free trial. So you're gonna get a 3 months free trial. So if you're ready, you can just link is in description below. You can get in touch with me, you can join the channel, and then you can get the free 3 months trial. You know, one thing you want to do whilst you are learning how to trade, obviously you want to trade by your own, you don't want to rely on a system or anything of that sort. But whilst you are learning how to trade, you don't know how long that's going to take. You still have to have a second source of income. Even if you still trading and making some profits, you still need to have a second source of income. Just like me, some days I don't show up to the charts, but still my income is still coming. So that's how you must think as an entrepreneur. You must have as many sources of income as you can, so that obviously if something goes down, you can still rely on something else, or if you're too busy to do something, you can still benefit from something else. So this is my point of view today, guys. Thank you for showing up. Like and subscribe. Catch you guys on the next one.